All right, let's get this show on the road. I somehow messed up my. Oh well. I hear all my audio feedback. Let me turn this off. I think it's a little too early in the morning for me to be streaming and trying to figure all this out. I somehow messed up my music in the background. Unless. I wonder if my other laptop is now using my headphones. That would be correct. Oh, I was trying to. I thought I'd use a little bit of background music while I did this, but I think I just was screwing it all up. Let me check out something real quick and see if I fix this. It's weird. It's like my laptop takes over from my desktop, and I can never tell where the audio is coming out of. Yeah, there we go. All right, that was really weird. I don't know why my laptop took over the audio. But I think we're good now. Let me try to just pick up a little bit on the mic and see, or one of my monitors and see if it's actually working. Okay, good. Sound is working. Oh, I can hear like the frog in my throat. So, it is Ludum Dare day one for me, and I am going to build some shit. Let's see. So, I've been trying to figure out what I want to do, and I had some ideas. So, the theme is deep, and I had some ideas about how could sorry, I'm just trying to get all my windows in order and see where I am. What I really was trying to think about is like there are two game ideas that I had, and one of them was a building sort of a little text engine where you can make your own games and share them for text adventures, and I wanted it to be drop and drag using sort of scratch blocks because it's something else I've been working on in a different project. And then the other idea was to revive an old game of mine called Cigar Smuggler, which was based on Dope Wars, and I thought that might actually work a little bit better with the theme because the theme really is how deep can you get into, you know, you're deep in with the mob and you need to get out of it by getting money back. So, yeah, I don't know where to start, but I do know I'm going to use AI, and I know everyone's going to be angry about it, but I don't really care. I've been so rusty now in doing my game engine stuff, and it's been years since I worked on my own game engine, so I need to now figure out what I want to build. I think what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to set up a little bit of a project, and we'll get it set up in Lovable, and then we'll get it set up locally. And this is what I've been messing around with a lot lately is this AI tool for developers, and I've been playing around with a lot of them. This one seems to be the most polished of them. It's also like stupid expensive. I think I'm now paying like $200 a month for it, but it lets me prototype out ideas really quickly. So what I want to do is let's see here how we can get the most out of this. So what I'm thinking is that for right now, I don't want to deal with the database. I want the game to be. Let's do this. I think I'm logged in here. Let's do drive.google or yeah, drive.google. And I'll create a new document, and we're just going to call this LDJM 57. So theme is deep, right? Let me double check that. LDJM. I was like half asleep yesterday when I like realized that the theme was announced. Depths. That's what it is. In my head, it was deep. Depths. Oops. Depths. So Hmm. I yeah, I wonder what I was. There's so many like little things that I have been playing around with, like ideas in my head that I want to do, and I wonder how. There was a thing on Itch that I always really liked. Wait, I don't want to create a new space. I just want to create a new tab. Hmm. Oh, do I have to like log in on this browser? All right, I'm gonna. All right, so depths. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think my dope war thing is going to work as much because it's not deep; it's depths. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to build out a whole new sort of engine for doing text adventure games, and we'll see how far we get. I honestly I enjoyed just doing Ludum Dare just to like give me a weekend to focus on a project rather than actually doing the jam itself. So I don't really care what I mean, I've gotten I think in the top 50s before, but that's been years ago. And right now, what I want to just do is get this to a place where I can just have a little bit of fun and walk away with something that I can use afterwards. Okay, so the theme is depths. I want to build a text adventure game engine using Blockly. All right. What I'm gonna do is, since I'm gonna be doing this, I already have a project that I've been using called, or that I've been working on called What the Prompt. Oh my god, it's been 16 days since I worked on it. I've been like so tied up with trying to get database stuff working. Um, what I want to do is I'm going to take this project. Let's just load it up. We'll just take some inventory of it. But basically, what I have in this project so far is that come on, you can do this. Uh, this whole idea, I was trying to build an app to teach kids how to prompt by using Blockly blocks. Oh, it's like totally screwing up. Yeah, I have to like redo this. But long story short is that I have this editor that I want to use. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to reskin this. I'm going to take out the block editor. I'll save the block editor. I'm going to get rid of the prompts. We'll leave the community stuff, and I'm going to see if I can migrate this over to a new database. And one of the things that I'm going to have to do, super. Let me see if I can log into this project here. So database, I don't know how to actually, wait, download the current view as a PNG. I don't know if I need to do that. What I want to do though is, how do I, why don't we do this? I'm going to make a copy of this. Let's see what happens with it and how I connect this back up to Supabase. Because the problem is I don't feel like paying for another Supabase database. But so let's go here into the settings. And I want to remix this project. I don't want the project history. I don't care about that. In fact, it might actually make this a little bit better. And then what we're going to do is we'll see how this is going to work out. What I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to make a new, well, you know what? I wonder in my org. All projects, AI prompt. I'm going to delete this database. How do I delete a project? I don't really care about this stuff. I'm going to redo this stuff anyways later. These are some old projects I was sort of working on, but I'm gonna redo them from. Please select at least one reason. Pricing. Yeah, let me delete these other two. I don't think it's gonna let me go back down to a free account, but I'm spending like $40 a month with them, and I'm barely, and it's just hard to like justify when all I'm doing is prototyping stuff. This project is, what is this one? Side project notebook. Yeah, it's fine. We can delete this one too. All right, maybe this will save me a little bit of money because I was going to set up a whole account and do like another free database, but honestly, I think there's a way that I could just duplicate this project. Restart project general. Custom domain. I guess I don't know if they give you a infrastructure projects database. Let me see if there's a way real quick to how to duplicate a super base project. How to copy one super base project to another. You can do this using the migration between project guide. Okay. Every super base project comes with a full Postgres database, a free and open source database, which is considered one of the world's best, blah, blah. Table view, relationships, migrating tables and views. All right, tables are blah, 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 blah. Creating okay, I get all this shit. Ludum Dare. Am I missing something? Like, managing. Why is it giving me the basic? Where's the migration? Migrating database. SQL functions. Getting started. Custom claims. There's got to be an easier way to do this, right? Well, let's check in with Lovable and see what it's doing. All right, so this created a new project. Project settings. What the prompt 16. All right, so let's rename this. For right now, I'm just going to call this block adventure. And then the next thing I need to do is, I want to hide this badge. Visibility is private. Owner is me. Domains, GitHub. I think before we do this, let's go to Superbase. Let's add another organization. Superbase manage projects. Create a new. I wonder what the best way to copy a database in this Lovable project is. Let's create a new project and see what it does. All right, we're gonna call this project. Yeah, we'll get a microcomputer password, whatever, same. The project name is going to be Block Adventure. And let's see here. We'll create this new project. Yeah, sure, we'll just save it just in case. I can always go back and get it. All right, so let me copy the public key. And then I'm pretty sure there's nothing in here. Cool. So let's go back here and block adventure connect. What is this exclamation mark there? Back to project. Let's, oops, I don't want to go to history. There's no history. Let me refresh this. Now I got to figure out how to, let me reconnect. Wait, I don't. How do I any custom context instructions your project? We'll use it in every. Oh no, I can do that later. Let's see. Oh, here, block adventure connect. I guess it just took it a second to set everything up. Connect. All right, Superbase project. Connect to your workspace. Dashboard manage users, manage secrets. Perfect. All right. So let's go back to our project, and now this is going to. We're now connected to Superbase. What I'm going to see is I want to see if Lovable can actually take the previous endpoints that I had and move it over. But what we can also do is we can go into this database and I can just sort of tell it. How do you, I wonder, running password. Superbase SQL editor, new query, dump into a query, run everything, successfully delete the contents, proceed to step 2. Your DB should now be duplicated. It took about 1 minute to do all this. Extra steps, link your new project. I have 2 versions in prod. Let's see, how to duplicate. Whoa, this is really big. Oh, come on, I already have a Medium account. Shoot. I guess we'll just log in. Sign in. All right, let me sign in so I can read this article real quick, and then we'll try to figure out what the hell I need to do. Where is my mail app? Medium, sign into Medium. If you're just tuning in, I am trying to figure out how to duplicate a, trying to figure out how to duplicate my, oops, let me paste this in. Oh, come on, really, are we doing this early in the morning? I do not have the patience. Trying to figure out how to copy a super whatever it is, database, super duper, whatever. I'm so bad at this. I need to go like wake up. Superbase. Install Homebrew. I don't want to do any of this stuff. Install Docker Desktop. Install Postgres. Retrieve the database schema in your terminal. Create a folder where you can download. Now you need to through the database roles, the schema and other contents. There are 3 separate SQL files that get these with the following commands where you need to substitute source DB. Substitute source DB with the database URL in the source database. When you paste this thing in, let me see if this is. Are we back on block adventure? All right, invalid username and password. Okay, I'm gonna ask Lovable real quick if it can figure out. How to reset up the database schema from the previous project I copied this from, or use the code to figure it out. Let's see. So once I just figure out how to copy out this database, then I should be good to go. I think one of the things I might want to do, I think one of the other ways I could do this is upload the database into your new project. Pause and restore. Caveats. I'm just making changes. Time limits. Storing a backup locally. Use survey CLI to restore the project to a local Postgres instance. Let's see what Lovable's coming up with. Let's create the necessary data based on the code references. Blocks, prompt definitions, prompt versions, prompt. Oh, maybe it's doing it for me. This will be fine. Yeah. All right. Problem solved, I guess. All right. Let me apply these changes. I mean, what's the worst that happens? It just fills in an entire database worth of shit, and then I just have to clear it out again. Let's do here. I want to go back to the database, which this is Block Adventure. Okay, it looks like it's building out all the authentication stuff that we need. Great, the database migration is successfully executed. Now I can generate the type definition of CVS tables based on TypeScript errors that can be fixed. All right, let it go do its thing. All right, so my plan, let me go here and we're just going to figure this out. So building using Blockly. Okay, so basically what we need to do is the list of things, well, let's see here, tasks. Let's go through and we're going to figure out what are the tasks that we need to do. We want to create a room block to put other blocks inside, connect room blocks, and test logic for connecting them. All right, I think we're going to start here. We're going to create a room block. Let's do this. We're going to create a room block. We're going to create a navigation block. And then once we create the navigation block, then we'll connect the room blocks to test that this works. And this will give us a really quick proof of concept to see if this actually works. All right, looks like Lovable's still doing its own coding thing. So I had a whole bunch of ideas around how I want to do this. Let's see, blocks. What are the kind of blocks we would need? We would need a room. We need a door, locked or unlocked. We need direction, where to go. Then what else do we need here? We need room, door, direction, blah, 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 blah. Description. Then we need, let's see, we need a door, a room, a door, description, direction, maybe an image, and items. So we'll just do something like, let's just do a single key. So, okay, so let me map this out. This is the main block that all rooms start with, and should have its own name, or own unique name. Then the locked door is, let's see here. For the locked door, it's to a room somehow, and can be marked as locked or unlocked. I don't know yet how I want to do that. A direction block can support north, east, south, and west with a connection to an existing room block. The description, or the base description for the room that should support, should support tokens. This is a pretty common thing that I've done in the past, where I have like some sort of text parsing, and then what I do is the token. So we'll use the token to fill in values inside of it. I'll show you a little bit more of this later. A possible image to go with the room, and then key an item that can interact with doors. And this is where we're going to start getting this complete separation of business logic from structural logic, or business logic from the front end stuff that'll actually run the game. So what's going to wind up happening here is that I'll have to bifurcate this program, and I don't know if Lovable is going to be able to do that, but I think that's where I'm going to wind up just jumping in myself. So let's see what Lovable has created. Tried editing file without permissions. Try to fix this. Let's see if we can get this to fix again. I bet you, I don't even know if it'll let me log in. No, it's not going to let me log in. I don't think anything's really working right now. All right, let's have it keep trying to figure this out. If not, I'm going to, I'll come up with another solution. I might have to actually just go in by hand and create, let me do this. Let's go to the tables here. Let me actually just, let's go here. I want to, I wonder what we could do is let's split this to the right, and then we'll do block adventure here. And what I want to see is API integration, real-time storage, authentication. So let's go here to, well, aren't there like roles and stuff too? Let me see, database. Roles. I think these are all just the regular policies. Huh. Now look, it seems to be it seems to have brought over most of this stuff. I think there's some discrepancies here. All right, let's see if Lovable is figuring its life out. I'll help you fix the error step by step. The primary issue is that we need to generate proper TypeScript types for the Superbase database tables to resolve. Okay, you were supposed to already have been doing that, but whatever. What I wanted to figure out here is that I have sign in and sign up. let's see here. Allow users to sign up. Fine, fine. Emails enabled. Fine. Users. So I don't have any users, but that's fine because I'll just register a user once Lovable has figured out what it's doing here. So if you're tuning in, I'm taking an old a project I've been working on called What the Prompt, and I'm trying to break this off, pull out the block editor logic so that I can build a text adventure tool. I want to build a tool to help me build out the text adventure game. And my thinking of this plan is that, let's see here. So here's the schedule, right? So Saturday, build out the tools. Sunday, build out the game engine. And Monday, build the game. All right. I think this is pretty achievable. I think it really is just going to come down to today and how far I can get through this stuff. Build is unsuccessful. Try to fix it. I've fixed the primary issues that were causing text errors in your project by creating a comprehensive type definition file for your Supabase database, updated the Supabase client instance to correctly utilize these types, probably handling of nullable values. All these changes should result in TypeScript errors that are preventing, but we still have some TypeScript errors. All right, we'll just keep sort of pushing Lovable to do its thing. What I was wondering is, let me add a user real quick. Well, wait, hold on a second. All right, so there's some things that need to happen here. I want to be able to register, so I'll test that from the beginning. What I want to see in the table editor, though, is that if we go to the table editor, we go to block definitions. Block versions, categories, fine. It's funny, it brought over the categories. Oh no, it just made up its own categories. Are the colors the same? All right, we'll figure that out later. The editor settings. Wait, I want to see if the colors are the same. Categories. There's a main color and a light color, right? Okay. The editor settings. All right, so there's no editor settings table. Profiles, ID, username, bio, created at, updated at, fine. All the prompt stuff I don't care about, and then the user role stuff. All right, so there's no user roles either. So how do we... export data as a CSV, export data as SQL, and whoops, I don't know what I did there. Oh, I just opened it up in Visual Studio off the screen. All right, I want to create a new table, and we're going to call this table user roles. Wait, let me discard it. Let me see if I can execute this. And this may not work because I don't think it has a database. Error. Does not exist. User roles. All right, let me check out what Lovable's doing here. Writing block services. Yeah, I don't want to start doing this while it's trying to figure this out. But there's definitely some tables that are missing. And then once we get this back up and running, we should be good to go. What I also want to do, and I'll do this afterwards, is that I'm going to create a a dev environment, local dev environment. So as I'm working on this stuff, I can what can I do? I will be able to go in and jump in the code locally myself, because I do find that Lovable likes to screw things up when left to its own devices. Use block theory. Can I see what this is doing? All right, saving changes. Edited 10 files. That concerns me greatly when it changes so much stuff. All right, let's see. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to start feeding it the raw data from the database, so that from the previous database, so that it can actually fix this stuff. My goal, I was going to stream for another hour. My goal right now is just to copy, clone this project. I'm going to take a little break, then I'm going to come back, and then if I can get all this stuff up and running, great. If not, I might just wind up building something. I might just wind up building it all from scratch, but I'm really hoping I can take advantage of all the block editor code that I had before. And I think once I get that stuff working, it should be pretty easy to start making out these rooms based on different blocks. And I think that's the other stuff that we need to look into. Need to research. Can you draw a connection between two blocks? Can you populate a block with data on the fly? Direction block has drop down for all rooms. All right. Let me see if I can. Yeah, anonymous sign-ins are disabled. Let me see. Let me tell it that I wanted to. Let me see what the database is real quick here and what we're missing. All right, so I've gone through here, table editor, block definitions, versions, categories, editor settings, profiles, user text, username, text, bio, created at, role. All right, so what's missing right now is a role table. Table here is a reference from my old database, and users should reference the role. Yeah, my money's on the fact that Lovable just can't figure out how to redo this, and that's fine. I mean, the solution, if I don't get this working in the next hour, is that I will just try a different approach, and I'll just figure out how to manually copy out all this stuff. how I can copy out the other stuff from the previous database and reset it up. It's just a lot of the connection stuff I don't always get. I've created the missing user role table to support the role functionality in your application. Let me do this with an SQL migration. Apply changes. All right, while we do this, let's map out some other ideas. What are other things that we would want in this? I think there should be some decoration. Decoration. I wonder if we could do some decoration blocks. So I built. Let's go here. Let's go to GitHub. I built terminal. Don't I have a Ludum? I swore that I had. Do I not put my other stuff in I guess I don't think I put the Lua demo scenes, tutorials, marathon text generator. Pixel Vision 8 games. Terminal. Here we go. Okay. So I have this old game. Oh, combat. That's what I wanted to add into this list. Need some kind of combat. And weapon / enemy blocks. All right, decoration blocks. Let me see what Lovable has done here. Now to create the user role, let me fix the build errors by updating the database utility function to properly handle service API types. All right, and then once it did it create the user roles? I wonder what defines the user role. There must be some other rule that I need to figure out here. All right. There should be 3 roles. A viewer, an editor, and an admin. Can you add that to the database? And then also user ID role. In the previous database, I was able to select a role from a drop down in the table editor, but so I need you to implement those roles. Viewer can only play or can only view things. Editor can make their own things, and only admins can make new custom blocks. All right, let's see if this fixes this a little bit. So let me go into here, and I think that there's a storage real-time database. Yeah, I wonder if I need to do. Oops, stop giving me that menu. Storage admin. Do I not have Superbase admin? Superbase admin 5 connections. I don't know what. I don't know what any of this stuff is, but that's fine. Backups. Physical backups must be enabled to restore your database to a new project. Find out more on how to back up. Wait, this might be what I need. Database backup. Database backups are an integral part of blah, blah, blah. Types of backups. Frequency of backups. Daily backups. When selecting a backup to restore. So maybe, I don't know, we'll give this a little bit more. We'll give this a little bit more time. I think what'll happen is that if I can't really get this working, I can always just delete that database, restart this project, and just figure out and just go through the documentation on how to actually clone the SQL project. While we do this, I'm going to read this a little bit more. Types of backup, database backup. Let me actually go here. Where was this? Platform backups. Ooh, look at this. Restore to a new project. Physical backups must be enabled. How do I enable physical backups? What is this backup? I'm just trying to look through this backup that it created to see what's in here, but maybe I can just use this too. I wonder, backup. I wonder, migrations. Database users are managed through the migrations of their terminal instructions. Create a new migration, call new migration, and run all the migrations against the project. God, I really don't know anything about databases. Yeah, I don't think this is going to work the way that I want it to. What I think I need to do is I think I need to figure out how to enable physical backups. Project settings. Custom domains, transfer project. No, that's not what I want to do. Pause project, restart project. Add-ons. Configuration database. Connect. Force SQL certification manage. Disk management has been moved. Network restrictions. Data. Here's the project overview. I'm already like hungry, so. Return types under database service functions and hooks. Let's bring in the big guns and see how ChatGPT can help us get through this. All right, we'll just leave this in the background so I can see what it's doing. All right. Can you walk me through how to copy a super base database over to a new project and make a full clone. All right, first step, go to your supervisor, then select the project as the database you want to copy. Sure. I'm down. Let's play this game. Create a new project in your Supervisor dashboard. Let me know when you're ready for the next step. Okay, let me see something real quick. Let's try to decide if it's time to abandon this and start over again. Also, this view is too small. I can't see what the hell is going on here. All right, create a new project user. Let me know. Done. Let's just tell it I've already created this project, and see, I just want to walk through and see what these steps would be. Export your current database using the PG dump, for example. Replace the placeholders with your project's details. Let me know when you're ready. Will this dump copy everything? I don't understand why like Superbase doesn't just have a button that says clone database. Like, yes, it exports your entire database schema and data through server level roles, and those server level roles and settings require separate handling. Let me know when you're ready for the next step. Okay, where do I go to run that? Yeah, Lovable is just going to keep going around and around in circles again. Although I think this is getting, I'll just keep telling it to keep trying to fix. From what the engineers told me there, is that if you use the try to fix, I think it gives you 3 or 4 free uses before it starts counting as tokens. You're running your terminal or command prompt on a machine with the PG dump installed and a network access use. I don't have that. Can you help me do this through the dashboard? Oh, I'm so not setting up all this stuff in the Docker container. I do not have the patience for it today. The dashboard doesn't support a full clone directly. You'll need to use an external tool like pgdump, pgrestore, or a database client to export and import the database. All right, what is the minimum setup needed to run pgdump/restore and connect to my old/new database? Come on, Lovable, save me from having to do this database shit so early in the morning. Minimum setup, install Postgres command line tools, have terminal access and gather connection details for both databases. Let me know when you're ready to go. Have terminal access and gather. Let me see, are these changes the same? Does it update the function to correctly type the input as promised? All right, let me keep trying to do this, and then I'll. Oh my god, I do not want to do this with a new data. Oh, fine, whatever. All right, fuck it. We're gonna do it live. I'll just make a new container. Create a new workspace. Let's just do a regular Docker container. I hate DB migrations. And sure. We'll just make this public so I don't have to worry about any of this bullshit. We're going to create the workspace, although it doesn't even matter. I don't even know why I made it public. By the way, if you don't follow, which I don't blame you, the stuff that I've been doing for the past like month and change, I've been creating my own sort of self-hosted development environment. So this is a program, or this is a project called Coder, and it orchestrates containers and stuff like that. So I'm running it locally on on my Mac Mini, and trying to use this as a way to um, um, keep consistent development environments, and also to keep me away from the little Docker crap that I hate doing. Okay, all right. I created a new Docker container. To do this, walk me through step by step what I need to install and what I need to do to connect to the DB to run this. Oh God, did Lovable actually work? Solution resolving TypeScript errors. Supabase, the main issue is that the Supabase query builder doesn't return a promise until you await it. In different stages of the builder, return different. So, all right, let's continue as a guest. It doesn't. I don't think I had that other thing to get. Let me. Don't have an account. Let's just do a basic account here. Check your email to confirm. You'll be able to log in after confirming. Where's my mail app? Mail. Confirm your sign up. I'm confirming my mail. Oh, you stupid thing. Oh, it won't let me confirm because it's trying to use localhost. That's garbage. All right, I can fix it. Let me just go back into this database here. I think there's a way, if I remember correctly, authentication, advanced, policies, sign in, sign up. I need to just modify this. Enable email provider. I don't need to confirm this. User will be required to confirm an email changed by both the fine. Prevent use of leaked passwords. Users will need to be recently logged into. All right, we'll deal with all this permission stuff later. Save. And close this out. Allow manual linking. Fine. Allow anonymous sign-ins. Fine. Anonymous users will use the authenticator role when signing in. As a result, anonymous users will be subject to the RLS policies that would apply to a public and authenticator roles. We strongly advise reviewing your. All right, let me get rid of the anonymous for right now, and let's just see if we can create an account without getting stuck in this authentication loop. So I don't have an account. I want to create this account. This email is already registered. Please try logging in. Perfect. All right. Well, that's cool. I see I have an issue where I can't go back once I've created an account. Let me refresh, and we'll start this over again. All right. So let's see if this will let me sign in. Ooh. Dashboard. Prompts will fail. There's no prompts. Community. Settings. Password, account, feedback. Huh. It looks like a lot of this stuff is actually running. So let's do this. Let's sign out. I'm going to force the sign out. That was a fun little problem I had where it would mess up these the session stuff. So I had to create a force log out thing. What I want to do now is don't have an account. I usually create two different passwords. This one I use for testing out my admin stuff. Check to confirm your account. You'll be able to log in after confirming. Yeah, see, it's doing this stuff where, okay, go away. Cool. I can't get rid of this stupid message. Settings. All right, it did let me log in account. Let me sign out now. Force sign out. Okay. Wait, actually I can just do this myself. I gotta stop going in and like having Lovable fix some of these problems that I know I can do. This is where I start getting lazy because of the AI stuff. So let's see here. I want to go to roles. I want tables, user roles. What I wanted to see was if I can users. Where isn't there like a users thing? Authentication. Providers, email. Let me do this. I'm going to delete this user. And I'm going to delete this user as well. Although, wait. Providers, email. Yeah, let me delete this user as well. We'll just we'll reset them up. What I wanted to do was go into authentication, sign in, sign up, allow users to sign up, allow manual linking, enable manual linking. And then I wanted to make sure that on the email, confirm emails, we have the confirm off, prevent use of leaks, blah, 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 save, perfect. Are there any other things that we need to enable? Upgrade to Teams, no, I don't care. Request duration, don't care. Auth database, don't care, don't care, don't care. Emails, sure, whatever, we'll deal with this later. Sessions, detect and revoke potentially compromised refresh tokens, fine. If enabled, all but a user's most recently active session will be terminated. God, I hate all this stuff. I don't think there's anything that's less fun than dealing with databases, at least for development. Okay, I think I got this now working. Let's go here and let's create a new account. Don't have an account. I'm going to create this account. And now what I want to do is I want to go back into the database. I want to look at the database authentication. I want to refresh this. And okay, so we've now created a new user, provider type, provider, signed in net. So I guess the real question is database, tables, view in the table editor. This table is empty. This is where I'm getting confused. I want the table editor. Come on, where's this thing? All right. I want to go and I want to look at user roles. What is this edit column? I think he created like a custom. I think he created like a custom type. Oh my god. Okay, let's do this here. All right. I need you to clean up the registration process. So when a new user is created, they get a random username and they are assigned a role. And they are assigned a role. There should be a custom role enum in the database for viewer, editor, and admin. All right. Inside your Docker container, verify that you have PostgreSQL tools running. I do not. I'm going to switch back over now and just see. Ugh, I don't like this terminal. Let's just go into code server here. Command's not found. So command not found. My plan is I'm just going to see if I can dump this database and okay, so we'll see if we can follow all these steps for creating a new database. Could not open lock file. Let's see what it has to say about that. Open a root shell in your container thing. God, you're gonna make me do this now. SSH NAS at Mac or mini NAS.local. All right, clear this. What was the container name? The container name is I hate. The container name is going to be coder Jesse Freeman. All right, let's see if we can do this. Copy. Actually, we'll do Docker PS. I'll get the name, and then we'll go from there. And since we're not doing any code, we'll just do this. There should be a container name here called Postgres latest. I hate, here we go. It's, the container name is coder Jesse Freeman I hate DB migrations. Let's put this in here and run it. And now we are logged in as the admin, and we can run this and reinstall this. Cool. Nothing like having to SSH into my server. Done. Now let's see what the next steps are. Set up your old DB password and run. I don't even remember what my DB password is. Let's see what Lovable's doing here. What did I want to do? I should have reviewed. To help you clean up the registration process to assign random usernames and roles to new users, we need to make change the database schema first to support the role enum, and then update the registration flow. Okay. It's sort of like a race between whether I could do this the easy way or the what is my password? I gotta authenticate my password manager. I am looking for Supabase AI prompt tool. All right, I think I found the password. Let's do export. Actually, let's put the password right there. Totally secure. And then we'll just put Ugh, how do I find all this? Let's just do this. We'll just give. Wait. Oh, okay. I'm in the container. Jeez, I'm like losing track of everything I'm doing. All right, I'm going to copy this back out, and what we'll do is we'll clear this out. Clear. We'll set the password. We'll clear, and now now what we need to do. Whoops, I've already done all this. Whoops, I've done this part. Clear. I need to do pg dump old db host, old db username, old db name. I'm hoping that. Wait, you are so screwed up. Why are you? Users can now register, get automatically assigned usernames, and have a default viewer role. How about this? The default. Well, let me see if this actually works. I'll create a new user. Let me sign in. Whoops, sorry, don't have an account. Let me create a new user account. It has been assigned to you. You can update it in your profile. Perfect. I don't know why these toasts don't go away. Good, I got my random username. I have a bio, a password, an account. I can log in and out. And now if we go back to, I'm just going to go here to Superbase. Let's see what project this is. This is the AI prompting tool. Let's go to Block Adventure. And let's go to the database, or actually, yeah, let's go to authentication. And what I want to see is I have these two people. Great. Now let's go to the database, and what I want to see is that there should be a tables, the roles table. And the roles table isn't populating anything. What the fudge? What's going on here? Profile. Okay. How come in the past we had, fine, then, you know, then let's do this. I want to change profile. I want to change this account to a admin. Does that actually save it immediately, or do I need to apply something? Nope, that saves it immediately. Okay, so now I want to log out. Passwords, accounts, sign out. And now once I sign out, let's see if we log back in. Oh, the block editor. Oh my God, it's still working. Okay. Whew. All right. I think that's some good progress for right now. Basically, all right. Perfect. Okay. So it's still respecting all of that stuff. All right. So let me do this. Let's just clean this up a little bit and remove all the other branding and crap from the previous thing. Usernames can only contain FreeJ admin, whatever. We'll just go with FreeJ. Failed to check username availability. I'm trying to change the username. I get the following error. Let's see if we can fix that little problem. Yeah, I wish there was like an easier way in Lovable just to say like, here's a template with like all the authentication, all the kind of stuff as a base project that I would build, and then sort of move it out from there. All right, so let's let this do this. I'm just trying to figure out what my breakfast plans are going to be because my brain's already fading and it's only 7:37 a.m. I see the issue. According to the console logs, when you try to change your username, there's an error with this function. Let's fix this by implementing an SQL function. Sure. Apply changes. I love it. So the way that I had this thing set up is that if you're an admin, when you log into the app, you get access to this block editor. You create a block, and now you can make this whole custom block however you want it to be. And there's also versioning and all kinds of other stuff. And this is really what I was trying to get, and I'm glad I actually got this in the first sort of time block that I'm doing today, because now it means that I can start putting together how the blocks are going to work, and I have to start building out these blocks. And if you are just tuning in, the thing that I'm trying to build is I want to build a text adventure game tool that'll let you build text adventure games using like Scratch blocks. And then when I get this all up and running today-ish, then tomorrow I can start actually focusing on the Ludum Dare game that I want to do. Check if the new username is ready. Taken does not. Okay, so let's go back into the account, or let's go back into my profile. Let me refresh this just in case. Free J. All right, profile's been updated successfully. Let's go back. Let me log out and log back in, because I've seen this in the past where it tells me it's done it, but then it doesn't. Okay, account, sign out, sign out. All right, so if I go back into me and sign in, and I go to settings, and I go to my bio, great. My name has been set. We're all good here. We got the blocks. Now let's do this. Let's do this. This prompt stuff is so broken, and I don't even. All right, let me do this. I'm going to log out. Oh, I do want to add some prompt. Wait, where is it getting all this from? Create a new these are it's just showing me the categories. Fine. Reload blocks. Blah blah blah. Okay, these are my admin things. I did spend like a ton of time on this on the UI for this app and getting this done. This is the project that I'm sort of working on the side that I have to come back to, called What the Prompt, to teach kids how to build prompts visually. So I want to rebrand. I want to redesign this project to match my new direction. Block adventure. This is a tool to create text adventure games visually using blocks. It you can create games, create new adventure games, share them with others, and rate community games. Okay. Let's see how it'll. I want to redesign this project to match a new direction, block adventure. Let's see what it comes up with. Right now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to strip out the rest of the. I'm going to strip out the rest of this. What the prompt design stuff, and I'm also going to get rid of the prompt editor that I had before. I'm going to leave the community stuff, and then we'll build it out from there. And then I'm going to take a break in about 15, 20-ish minutes, have some breakfast, and then come back to the grind. Good. So now I have to deal with this crap. I can get rid of this this chat. We'll actually start a new chat. It's what I want to do. is I am going to start. I do want to brainstorm with ChatGPT how I can go through and design some new, um, blocks to build out the room stuff. And let me ask, is there a way in Blockly to link blocks together? I am making a text adventure game and want to have blocks for each room and direction blocks in the room block that will refer to other room blocks. One thing I do notice with ChatGPT is like I can ask it a question like this and be like, oh yeah, sure, we can do anything you want, and then I go to start doing it and it's like, nah, I lied. You can create custom blocks with connection inputs or fields to link room blocks together. I want the room blocks to be independent from each other, but does Blockly have a way to draw connections between them? Or can I do this with custom code? There's some other there's some interesting tools out there. Blockly doesn't support drawing connections between independent blocks by default, so you'd need to implement a custom code that can do that. How difficult is that? I mean, what does ChatGPT care? It's like, it's going to be doing it for me anyways. It's moderately challenging. You'll need a good grasp of Blockly's API, custom rendering using JavaScript. Walk me through how I would implement something like this. I'd have a block called room, and the room would have a name. Then inside of the room, I'd have a direction block that could be north, east, south, west, and a name to the block it connects to. In the editor, when I click on a direction block, I want it to draw a line to the block it's connected to. Sure, let's see what it comes up with. At least this way, I'll come up with this sort of brainstorming idea. I'm going to usually throw this, usually I do this brainstorm stuff. I'll throw it into, oh, what is this shit doing? Oh yeah, define the custom blocks. Great, we can use that stuff later. Does this step work for you? This model doesn't really like. No, I want you to go into more detail on how to actually implement something like this, and so I can create a spec. All right, let's see. An error occurred. Cool. This happens a lot with Lovable. Let's dismiss this error. I don't know. It just crapped itself out. Let's refresh and see if it's done anything. Let's go back. Now what? Oh wait, is it continuing? What happened to my redesign? You threw an error. All right, spec linking independent room blocks. Goal, represent implementation steps, custom blocks, block registry for quick lookup. Maintain a JavaScript object of room registry, mapping the room blocks instances. Every time a room is created or updated, update its registry. Extend the block click event. Using Blockly's event system, click visual connections between blocks. To visually connect blocks, you will need to draw a SVG line between the blocks. Blockly Workspace has an SVG overlay you can use. When a direction block is clicked, find that. Examples, clearing the connections, add functionality to clear or redraw the line whenever the block moves or are deselected. Add another listener for deselecting or dragging the blocks. Handling update and remaining. Perfect. This is one of the things that I do like for ChatGPT. It's really good at building out like simple specs like this. And a lot of this stuff is just boilerplate crap anyways that I would be working on. Now your block adventure redesign should work correctly without TypeScript errors. Okay, but you didn't change the design of anything. Oh no. No, 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 no. I don't know what you decided to do, but you just broke it. Oh my god. It tried to build something and it redid, it just went over all my code. Holy shit, what is it doing? What did it do? It like, did it, Dragon's Lair, Mystery Mansion, did it actually populate the database with shit? I think it just mocked all this up for no reason. Okay, this is a valuable lesson that you need to be stupid explicit with this because it's basically an idiot. All right, let's do this. I need to go back to before the, let's restore this version before it went stupid. Also, I wanted to take all right, I restored this version now. Let me just double check. Let me get out of this. Refresh this. This is the one nice thing about this is that you can at least go backwards to version history. Let's see. Okay, good. It got rid of all that other block crap. And in fact, some cool stuff that I can show you is that I could have it build these blocks. I have a whole JSON editor to make it easy to build these blocks. I have all this connection stuff, fields, metadata, all kinds, whatever I need to do to build these blocks. So what I need to do now is let's get out of here, sign out. All right. I want you to remove the prompt branding from the index page and redesign it for a new project I'm turning this into called Block Adventure. Replace the carousel. I always mess up carousel. O-A-U. There's a U in it. Replace the carousel with new content reflecting the fact that it's now a platform for building, sharing, building, sharing, and rating text adventure games using blocks using a visual block editor. All right. Don't change anything about the sign in process or logic. Just the design of the index page. All right, let's see if it can handle this now. And then I'm going to take a quick break in a minute. While it does this, what I want to do is, I don't think I can do this at the same time. The other thing I'm going to do is let me go back over to my dev environment here. I'm going to delete this migration crap as I don't care anymore. I think I have enough of the project up and running. What I do want to create though is I want to create a new workspace. We're going to make this a new node workspace, and we're going to call this block adventure. And I'm going to use this to host this project. So let's do create a workspace. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to check out, once I get Lovable to add this to my GitHub repo, I'm going to check it back out into my, I'll check it into this project, and then I'll be able to do editing. So I'll have Lovable doing some high level like boilerplate stuff that I don't feel like coding. And then I'm going to start jumping into the actual coding myself. Let me get rid of this. I do want to keep this out because I think there's some stuff in here that is this room decorator. Here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a link to this in our docs. References. Basically, I've tried this, oh my God, like years ago, I tried to build a text adventure game. And then what I wound up doing was I came up with this system where each of the rooms had, it all was randomly generated itself. And there was a message, and like there were things that you could do for the different tasks. So what I'm going to do is try to base it on this thing that I did before. Like here I had these like generic room descriptions. And what I was thinking of is that some of this stuff you could just use as building blocks. Like there could be decoration, and you can use it to decorate the room, and then it'll fill in those details. And then you could do some custom text yourself and blah, 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 blah. Let's see, where are we at here? All right, guy, this looks, build adventures visually. Jeez, it is so dumb. It just couldn't even like figure out how to change the styling, but that's fine. We're just gonna roll with it for right now, because this is all just boilerplate crap. Welcome to Block Adventure. Play community game. So basically what it did for us is it just changed the carousel to build adventures visually, save and share your games, play community games, and rate and get feedback. Perfect. All right, so I want to now log back in. Okay, you know what? Before we do this, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to connect this project up to GitHub. I'm going to check it out, make sure I can get it running, and then I'm going to go have breakfast. Let me go back here. I want to go to project settings, GitHub, transfer to GitHub. That's my org. You know it. Let's go. Come on, team. Repository now under this. Perfect. All right. Here, good. It created the project for me. What happened here? Why did it? Huh. That's interesting. I was on a previous branch called v.13.2, so I guess it just copied it from there. What is in this branch? All right, now I'm confused. I want to see where this is actually building from. Okay, I see what happened. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a little bit of love here. Let's check out this. I'll check out this project, and then I need to clean up this Git repo. That's really weird that when I cloned the project, it cloned it on the last branch. I need to just make, I'm just going to do a really quick chat here. I always forget half of these commands. This is where I've gotten completely and utterly lazy as a developer. Let's see. I want to, I need your help with checking out this project into a /temp folder, then moving all the contents into the /workspace folder. All right, so now let's go back to my workspace, block adventure. Let's open up the code server. We'll create the console here, and now we're going to do, I'm just going to follow its directions. Block adventure, great. Cool. I'm glad that my SSH keys and everything worked. Let's go through this here. I'm going to delete all of this stuff. Perfect. Next. All right, so let's run this command. We're going to move the temp into the workspace. And I don't know what this is, temp. Does this include, well, actually I can just test it out. Clear, git status. All right, so your branch is up to date with origin. So let's do this. Let's do git checkout master. Maybe it's main. Did not match any files known to Git. Git branch. Hold on a second. Now I'm confused. How do I find the main branch? My project. Okay, I'm going to take a quick break. Then we're going to come back and tackle this stuff. So let's do this. I'm going to stop the stream for now, and I will be back in maybe like 30 minutes. So, all right, we'll continue this in a little bit. Thanks for watching, and when you guys come back, or when I come back, we'll fix this GitHub repo, and we'll do all the other stuff that needs to be done.